Hello, everybody. Um, Welcome to the stream. I do this more than actually recording videos. It's honestly easier because then people can go back and watch the live streams. I know more than likely people won't watch the whole thing. It's about an hour, hour and a half, sometimes maybe 2 hours. But you guys can't hear that. Kind of just ending AW Dynamite because it took longer than I thought it was. That's plus. Um, let's see. The title of the stream, MLB lockout. I think we have to get to a point where the lockout's going to happen. Um, Especially when the Dodgers get Tarek Skubal from the Detroit Tigers for not a big amount like not a huge amount in return. Just 1 second here. I gotta put this out there. I gotta put out that live. That's okay. We can just go share. So you kind of want to go share, copy link, and then we can go Instagram, post it on the story. Yeah, just give me one moment. My phone does act real slow. Like it does, it is slow sometimes. Okay, let's post this photo. There we go. Nope. There we go. Story is loading, and we should be live. Well, we're live now. So hopefully we get some people in here. What was I going to talk about? Oh yes, MLB. We can talk about Jays later on, because I mean, yes, they've won three straight series, but we can talk about that later. I want to more talk about the lockout that is certainly impending, because both sides, the MLB, the owners, and the Players Association, I don't think will be in any sort of agreement anytime soon. Will it threaten the season? We'll have to wait till about February, March. Then we can get scared about ruining a season. But as of right now, I there's definitely going to be a lockout. Like I think we need to realize that one side is not going to get what they want. I think the one side that's not going to get what they want is the owners, and that's definitely that salary cap. A lot of players are going with they want like the owners want comparative balance. To me, to get comparative balance would not have to be like a salary cap. This phone is so goddamn slow. You know what? You guys can see me still. I'm gonna use this laptop. You guys can still see me. Um, there was one thing that I did see today. Um, about the wanting to be comparative balance, and I actually agree with this. These headphones suck. I can barely hear it on my right ear. Can't hear out of my right ear. Yeah, I can, just not very loudly. Um, there's one thing I do like. There was one thing I saw written. It was from John Smoltz. He said the way that you could probably create comparative balance is splitting the season in like halves. Like you still have the 162 game season, but split it in half to like first half of the year, second half of the year. The problem is right now is that you have a lot of these small market teams just give up. They've given up. Not because of um a salary not being a salary cap. They've given up because they can't be competitive. Like look at the COVID season. Remember when the COVID season was only 62 games, like 60 some odd games? There was a lot of teams, like small market teams, that made playoffs. And what's the guarantee that all these small market teams, if you have a salary cap, what's the guarantee that those teams will spend to the salary cap? What's the guarantee? That's the problem that I have with this. They'll spend to the cap floor, and that'll be it. There's owners that are so goddamn cheap that if there's a salary cap, they'll go, okay, well, there's a salary floor, we'll just spend to that, and then that's it. That's the problem that I have with a salary cap and salary floor. Now, I've said it before, I think there needs to be a salary floor, but now thinking more about, like, I've thought more about it, I think that there needs to be a penalty with that salary floor. If you don't spend to the salary floor, like a harsh penalty. Like we're talking like okay, if you don't spend to the floor and you don't make the playoffs, you lose your first round pick. Now, also with that, I think that there needs to be a very like they're projecting like $100 million separation between cap and floor. I think that needs to not be 100 million. I think it needs to be I think it needs to be a smaller separation. I think a separation needs to be, I would say, about 75 to 70 million dollars. This will in I honestly think that there needs to be a tighter separation between if there's going to be a salary cap. a har- And this is the thing that I hate also about salary cap is that you've seen it in hockey. You've seen it. Well, basketball has a cap, and then they have a hard cap. So teams can go above that cap, but it's like the luxury tax in baseball. They have to pay if you're over the initial cap, but they can spend the hard cap to the hard cap, like re-signing players and that kind of thing. Now, I also think that players need to be younger to enter free agency. Right now in Major League Baseball, if you are pretty much a lot of free agents are about 30 years of age when they enter their first free agency. If they enter their first free agency, they're usually about 30 years old. I think players need to be younger. Players need to be younger. Because like you're young, I think players need to be about 28 years of age. You get better out of the deal. 30 is when they're like right at their peak, and it starts to go downhill. A lot of baseball contracts in free agency when they're 30 years old and they sign to a new team, that contract starts to like their performance starts to go like this. It happens a lot in baseball. It does. And it gets to a point where teams have to cut. Yeah, teams have to cut those players after after a few years or trade them away because their contracts are like an albatross now. Like I can see like the Mets, for example, they had to shed a lot of money. A lot of money. Well, they not shed a lot of money, but they had to shed a lot of talent because their team was crap. But they're stuck with guys like Francisco Lindor. They're stuck with Juan Soto. Like Soto getting paid $800 million potentially. He's not worth $800 million. Like keeps the highest paid player. Your connections. Okay. Juan Soto should never have been the highest paid player in baseball. Never. Should never have been the highest paid player in baseball. But the Mets in their deep pockets gave him that money. And you have then you have the Dodgers in all their contracts and how their deferred salary equals up to $1.1 billion. Like here's Juan Soto. I mean, okay, he's 27. He's getting paid he's getting paid this year. Well, payroll wise is $6 million on the payroll, but his actual cash is 46 million. Last year, cash that he made last year was $122 million, over $122 million. He has a prayer opt out available in 2030. He has a prayer opt out available after 2030, up to 2029. Team can void the opt out by adding $4 million a year to the years 2030 to 2039. And also, they're stuck with Soto because Soto has a full no trade clause. He had a signing bonus of $75 million when he signed that deal. That's why last year he made $122 million. For a guy that is horrible defensively. Like the he's a guy that should not be in the outfield. He can walk, he's a good hitter. He's not an outfielder. Here, I'll bring up his I'll bring up his stats. This year, so this is a guy that's getting paid $60 million this year. Okay? Let's not forget about that. He's getting paid $60 million. He's batting 283. His WAR's 2.6. He has 21 homers. That is not a guy who should have a contract worth close to, that could be worth $800 million. I think we know also what's happening with the Mets. They're a team that has too many egos, too many egos in the room. And it's affecting that team. You look at a guy like Bo Bichette. Look at Bo Bichette. Look at him. He's not happy. He's not happy with the Mets. He's not happy there. You can see it when he's playing. He's going to leave. He's opting out of that deal. Yes, it's a lot of money. But I can see him opting out of his contract and going somewhere else. It's incredible, a lot of the contracts in Major League Baseball. And it's also incredible how many of those contracts also get bought out earlier in the contracts. Like guys get DFA'd like crazy or sent to the minors. Like it's insane. Now it could be for injuries, but that's a whole different matter because it's a rehab stint and all that stuff. But most of the time, if you're performing bad, MLB is What have you done for me lately? Now you also got a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. that if I don't think Vladdy actually has an opt out. I have to see here. I don't think Vladdy has an opt out in his contract. Yeah, Vladdy doesn't have an opt out. And this is also smart too. So he signed a 14-year, $500 million contract. 325 million of that is signing bonus. This year he hasn't been pitching well. But the thing is that he's also 27. He's 4 or 5 years younger than me. This is the problem with Toronto. With Toronto media. They pressure guys like instantaneously when they sign any kind of big deal. Any kind. Like they threw Austin Matthews last year under the bus. I watched a lot of Leafs. I still watch a lot of Leafs games. I watch them whenever I can. I mute the intermission because it's ridiculous. Every intermission was like, well, why isn't Matthews getting 50 goals this year? It's like, last year, the reason was because Craig Berube stunted him. To me, this is what's happening with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. John Schneider is not a major league manager. But he got us to the World Series last year. It's like, okay, what did he do before that? What did he do before that? He didn't win a series before last year. He didn't win a series. There are certain things on this Toronto Blue Jays team. Yeah, we're going to get to the Blue Jays. I'm going to talk about them now. There are certain things about this Blue Jays team that need to change. I get that you guys care about guys having control, like pitchers having control. I get that. Where's your bats? That's your biggest problem. Yes, they have won their last 3 series. They can still make the playoffs. But they aren't going to go anywhere in those playoffs. Vladdy's here for the long one. He's also got no trade clause. He's here for the long run. Like I said, you'll get guys like this being cut. No, not guys with huge contracts, not guys with this kind of contracts. He's not getting paid a lot during the actual season. Most of it is in signing bonuses. Now there's other bonuses too. There's MVP incentives, which is really not much, like 100. If he gets first, if he wins MVP, he gets $150,000. Like that's drop in the bucket at that point. For each All-Star game, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger, World Series MVP gets $50,000. For LCS MVP, he gets $25,000. Those are his bonuses, incentives. Like those are really good. Like those are fine. I have no problem with that because that should push the guy. There's just something about the Jays that has just been off. Like the vibes are off. Like this off season, if there is an off season, which there won't be, but if there's a chance, like if there's an off season, I think that their biggest problem is hitting. You cannot bring back the same team that you had this year next year. You can't. You just can't. When your offense is one of the worst in the league, after a year where you just went to the World Series, I'm sorry. Like the one thing that I see. So Vladdy had the day off today. They keep paying him in the top of the order. Usually, what veteran managers would do is if your best hitter, your supposed best hitter, is struggling, you put him lower in the order. You put him lower in the order. You do. You put him lower in the order, and you have him battle for the top of the order spot. But John Snyder's not going to do that because he doesn't know how to manage. He doesn't. Look at his bullpen. Look at his damn bullpen. Like that entire bullpen, I can tell you right now, is so tired. Yes, tomorrow's supposed to be a day off for them, but guess what? Rain out, and now it's not. Like every day they have to call up and send down call up pitchers, and then the next day send them down after they pitch. Like who is it? Freaking uh Chad Dallas. Chad Dallas was called up, and then today he was sent down for new pitchers because Chad Dallas had 71 pitches yesterday. Hello, like that. He pushes his pitchers too much. Now you can push your pitchers. You can push them, just not over the line. If your pitcher's pitching great, okay, fine, you can push them. That's mostly starting pitching. You can push a little bit more. Your bullpen, no, no. Like let's see here, Blue Jays bullpen over the last 5. But Mason Foolhardy, for some reason, um, here we go. Mason Foolhardy, a guy that I would not have be appearing in this many games, by the way. 24 years old. 59 appearances this year. 59. His next one will be 60. He's appeared in a third, over a third of the games the Jays have played. No, I'm sorry. I'm not having him do that. I'm not. Let's see who else they have used in the last 5 days, like a lot. This is also just they're right now just showing um like usage, like just guys that they've done. Okay, like here's an example here. Um okay, that's Brendan Riddle. So like their main bullpen guys. So oh, here we go. Before today's game, they used Braden Fisher throughout the last 4 days. They didn't use him today because they wanted to give him a day off. Yeah, they wanted to give him a day off. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's see what Braden Fisher. How many games he's appeared in? I'm pretty sure it's a lot too. Come on, load up. Braden Fisher has appeared in 53 games. He will also, by this year, will have appeared in 60 games. Now, another problem I have with this is that you have certain starters on this team that just haven't been that good. I don't understand why would you ever bring back Mr. Max Scherzer? Did you think that you had like did you think that he would have been key to your team? No. He's done. He's over the hill. He should be retired. He should have been retired. Should have been. But he didn't. Now, there's another guy that I've been. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy's in the comments. My, well, I shouldn't say that because FIFA's always been corrupt. FIFA has always been, and kind of had something to do with Johnny Infantino keeping shut. Because there were rumors going around that Johnny Infantino in him, and there was a crisis meeting, and apparently FIFA executives said, "No, he's still good enough to be president." Like, buddy, it was the biggest fucking scandal that you could have had in all of sports. like a big scandal, and you're telling me that he's still good enough to be president? What are you doing? What is this whole thing? What, like, to me? It's just it's sad. It's sad that it's come to something like this. Like Canada, freaking the Prime Minister today, Mark Carney said, "I have no confidence in Johnny Infantino." He was the one that was mostly with him. I saw him a lot of times with Infantino, but Donald Trump's probably the one that had him come in, keep his job. Can we just agree that Donald Trump gets his hands on everything when it comes to anything when it comes to the world that will benefit him? Anything, just anything in the world. Like, he's supposed to be U.S. president, right? Yeah, it seems like when it comes to anything in the world, he's gonna get his little grubby hands on it, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand the man. I can't wait till he dies or impeached, whatever comes first. More than likely, him dying than impeached. He's not gonna get impeached. Um, we're I'm at that, like, if we're at that point in the year, like we're in August, beginning of August. Training NFL training camps have started. Thank God we have something. I think actually, Stefan, just 1 second here. Uh, we'll go to sports news today from Google. What's the biggest sports news of the day from Google, from their Google AI thing? Thinking, still thinking, still thinking, still thinking. This is so great by Google. Such greatness. Yes, so obviously, like when you hear sports news, you have to look it up. So, I mean, we're at that time of year where we're at that time of year. I've said it before. It's actually one of the titles of my previous live streams. Um, Dog Days of Summer, where not a whole lot is happening. It is dead. We do have some stuff. Felix Auger-Aliassime. So right now it's the National Bank Open, which is going on in Toronto and Montreal. Felix Auger-Aliassime had to withdraw from it because of a back injury. This always seems to happen when it comes to like the biggest tennis stars in Canada. It seems like we can never have uh, that one star in Canada without them getting injured or hurt. We have Rayla Fernandez. Oh, Rayla Fernandez winning her match as the only Canadian singles player remaining in the tournament. Oh, fun. Team Canada faces Switzerland in the Hranka Gretzky Cup. Final preliminary round game. Haven't been watching it because my brain is not necessarily on hockey. It's kind of like on off mode until football. starts. Like baseball, I think we all know the news at this point. It's going to be a lockout. Basketball and football. Dylan Brooks has agreed to a 3-year, $73 million contract extension with the Phoenix Suns. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of money for Dylan Brooks. Aaron Donald held a workout today with the Los Angeles Rams and met comeback discussions. That's fantastic. The Rams are going to become the Dodgers. And Stephon Diggs is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders. Great. So the Washington Commanders can finally have a second weapon for their quarterback. I can't remember what his name is. See, this is my brain's on off mode. I can't remember certain teams and players and whatnot. Baseball. Toronto Blue Jays made a few moves today. Ricky Tiedemann, former top prospect of the Toronto Blue Jays, is finally off the minor league IL and is in AAA. He missed the past season and a half. Excuse me, just 1 second here.